Wall incoming. 320. Burning carbon straight at your visor. Your blind spinning, and the radio is completely dead. Your mechanic forces the Hans device locked. Monaco grid. No time left before lights out. Your crew rips the front wing off in a last-second emergency replacement on the starting grid. Mixed weather, unknown tire life, one shot at getting the strategy right. That is your briefing. 2 seconds from lights out, your steering wheel flashes a critical brake system failure warning. 5 lights go out. G-force hits so hard your vision grays out for a full second. 3 cars collide directly ahead. You punch through the gap in flying carbon and sparks. A loose wheel flips your car onto 2 wheels at well over 200 kilometers per hour. Left front brake is past thermal limit. Your engineer calls bias adjustment while you are mid-corner. Monaco tunnel at 270. Darkness, then oil on the exit, and the car snaps loose instantly. You catch the snap with a countersteer that buys you maybe 0.02 of a second. The car launches off a curb. All 4 wheels leave the ground at full racing speed. You hold position, but the front wing is cracked and vibrating hard on every corner entry. Your main rival drives into your side. You enter the next complex completely wheel to wheel. He pushes you onto the grass at 200. The car snaps into a violent slide. You rejoin centimeters from the barrier. An investigation notice appears on your steering wheel display. Your engineer cuts in. Stay calm, hold your pace, and do not respond to his aggression. He stays locked in your mirrors. You shift your defensive line and close every braking gap. Wheel to wheel into the chicane. Contact, sparks flying, and the crowd holds its collective breath. Your rival blinks and pits. You stay out, gain track position, but a faster car closes. A new opponent locks onto your gearbox. Harder, faster, pressing you into every single braking zone. DRS locks open before a high-speed corner. The car becomes completely unguided under heavy braking. You miss the chicane exit entirely and avoid the barrier by a margin measured in bare centimeters. The dashboard flashes ERS failure and total power loss. Rivals stream past you one by one. Fire detected lights up the wheel. Burning plastic smell hits you from directly behind your head. Telemetry is gone. Your engineer confirms the team is completely blind to everything happening out there. You manually cycle through emergency modes on the steering wheel. The car half recovers on the straight. You rebuild pace and hold position without aero advantage or power recovery systems working at all. Brakes begin glowing orange from overheating. Every single lap, the gap behind you keeps tightening. The sky turns black and heavy rain hits the circuit. The surface turns into standing water. You drive blind inside a wall of spray from the car ahead, navigating on pure memory. The car ahead aquaplanes into the barrier. You pass through water and debris at racing speed. You hit standing water at full speed. The car spins across the middle of the track. You catch it centimeters from the Armco and somehow keep your throttle foot flat through the recovery. Your engineer hesitates between intermediates and waiting. Every second of that hesitation costs you positions. A wind gust rips a trackside banner free. It wraps around your front left wheel mid-corner. You call for intermediates. The team commits, and rivals still on slicks immediately begin losing ground. You hit the pit entry on the penalty limit. The wheel gun jams on the front right. A mechanic drops the nut under the car. A 2-second stop becomes a full pit disaster. Another mechanic stumbles with a tool. You sit locked inside your carbon shell, watching time vanish. You exit directly into a rival's path on pit lane. He brakes hard to avoid contact. You return to track in last place. Gap massive. Strategy destroyed. Race still somehow alive. The whole season plan collapses in under 10 seconds. Your engineer demands qualifying pace every lap. No safety car appears. The team improvises and orders you to attack through clean open air. You start a run of high-risk overtakes in spots no driver would normally ever attempt to pass. A multi-car crash erupts directly ahead. The track is completely blocked by smoke and wreckage. One car barrel rolls over a curb. You thread a gap that should not exist at speed. Safety car out. Marshals wave flags at every post, and the full field bunches tightly together. During the neutralization, you spot a mechanic taping a crack running up your front suspension upright. On the restart, your engine stalls completely. The whole field launches while you sit totally stationary. Your fireproof glove starts smoldering from contact with a component that runs dangerously hot inside the cockpit. Your engineer confirms over radio that your championship rival has been airlifted away from the circuit. That news breaks your focus for one corner. You run wide and lose 2 hard-earned positions. Safety car gone. The whole field erupts. 3 cars entering the same corner at once. A rival clips your rear wheel. The car snaps hard into a slide across the line. Battery warning on the dash. You lose all power on the longest straight of the lap. Locked DRS, damaged diffuser, dead tires, and your engineer is completely overwhelmed by incoming data. A rival forces you hard onto the curb at 250. The car goes airborne on impact. You stay flat through the gravel and rejoin directly in front of the car that attacked you. The engine makes sounds it should never make. You extract every last fraction of power remaining. You enter the final corner side by side. Neither of you knows who will emerge ahead. Your team restructures instantly. Strategist takes over comms while engineer focuses solely on data. They hold you out. You race on destroyed rubber just to protect your current position. The car slides every corner. Rivals ahead all blink first and file into the pit lane. You jump back into the top positions. One place now stands between you and a podium. You open DRS for the attack, and the system unexpectedly recovers and holds fully open. The pit wall links with race control. Track data now arrives faster and cleaner than before. For one lap, it all feels controlled. But those tires are on their absolute final kilometers. The last lap begins. Every system on this car is now at its absolute maximum load. Onto the final straight, your front left tire begins failing structurally. Chunks leave the rim. The car pulls hard toward the wall. Your rival attacks hard from outside on fresh rubber. You defend on 3 functioning tires. The finish line approaches 1 painful centimeter at a time. You cross the line side by side. Timing screens call a photo finish with no verdict. Your head drops onto the steering wheel. The car rolls into Parc Fermé on pure momentum. Mechanics sprint to the car and lift you out of the cockpit by both arms. Helmet off. Face completely drained, hands blistered, still shaking hard after 90 minutes at load. The medical team moves in, drip in your arm, ice packs on your neck and wrists. You sit on the garage floor back against the wall. Your whole body is still shaking. The debrief starts. Data confirms 78 critical decisions made across 78 laps of this race. Your engineer pulls up tire data, cords fully exposed, diffuser damage worse than anything reported mid-race. This shift nearly ended your career, and tomorrow morning, the briefing starts again at exactly 8. You walk slowly out of the motorhome, one hand trailing along the wall for balance. Floodlights come on above the empty circuit. Shift closed, track silent, but the work never ends. Your engineer's data shows your heart rate exceeded 200 beats per minute for 90 straight minutes. Your car floor has deep gouge marks from barrier contact you have zero memory of making today. You ran the final 10 laps with a steering column crack that could have snapped any corner. This was not a title race. It was survival inside a carbon shell at 300. Every gap you held cost invisible decisions that nobody watching the live broadcast ever got to see. You didn't control that race. You kept it from collapsing completely, corner by corner by corner. At 300 kilometers an hour, thinking takes too long. Only instinct actually keeps you alive. Control is not the absence of chaos. It is how fast you adapt when it arrives. This shift is over. The circuit never cools, and the next one starts sooner than expected. One shift lived, one driver. Subscribe to Insider Shift. Your next ride starts right now.